Welcome back from, oh, there we go. Hello. Jeez, that'll wake you up from your lunch if nothing else will. I hope everyone is well fed, rested, and ready for our final afternoon of programming. It is starting to come to an end. Earlier this year, young creators at LA Hacks, one of the largest hackathons in the country, had just 36 hours to prototype experiences on Roblox that promote civility in today's digital landscape. What they created was nothing short of amazing. In this fireside chat, Tami Bhaumik and Andreas Cuervo from Roblox joined Newsweek's Katherine Fung to share highlights from the Roblox Civility Challenge and explore why designing for civility is more urgent and inspiring than ever. Let's welcome them onto the stage.
Hi, everyone. I just want to thank the festival for having us. I know we're all really excited to have this conversation about creating digital civility in today's landscape. And so I'll just start things off because we have a lot to get through. But Tami's been here at Roblox for quite some time, so she's actually seen the company's digital civility initiative. And so I want to ask you how that process began and how the definition of civility has changed as you guys have built this effort.
Yeah, well, everyone, thank you so much for coming to our talk. So excited to share a little bit more with you about our civility initiative at Roblox. As you all probably know, Roblox has grown like crazy. We now have over 100 million daily active users on our platform. So it gives us an opportunity to really scale and expand safety education, civility education, media literacy skills, et cetera, and all in the hopes that we can make the world a better place. The Civility Initiative was born back in 2019, and full transparency, it was born out of a conversation with a mom who had an 8-year-old daughter, and she was terrified of this world that she knew her daughter was going to go into. She had no technology skills, she had no technology background, she didn't even own a computer. And she was terrified she was not going to be able to protect her daughter. In this conversation with her, I realized not only did we have a responsibility, we had an opportunity to close the education gap between the generations. And so the Civility Initiative was born. It has grown tremendously since 2019 to today. And so now our areas of focus, our real mission is really empowering people of all ages with the knowledge and the tools to be able to navigate not just Roblox, but the online world with confidence and optimism. So that's really the mission and something that we come into every day. And how we do that is we work with different researchers, academics, safety NGOs, to get evidence-based data to inform ourselves so that we can go back to our engineering and product teams to advocate as to what other innovative things can be done on the platform and teaching our developers how to integrate new features and policies and tools to make their games safer and more civil. So the areas of our focus for civility really focus on media literacy, mental health, and well-being. And as young people grow up in this digital age, hopefully we can give them the tools in order to be able to develop the muscle that's required in order to help them navigate harms later.
Mm-hmm. And I know, Andres, you lead the youth engagement at Roblox. And so I was wondering if you could maybe tell the audience a little bit about why you think it's important to include those perspectives and those voices in specifically the safety products that Roblox ships.
Sure, thank you, Catherine. Well, we convened 100 global experts 2 years ago in partnership with the Digital Wellness Lab at Harvard. And out of this convening, a white paper came out with recommendations for the industry on how to make online spaces safer for young people. And one of those recommendations was meaningfully engaging young people. And so from this report at Roblox, step one was creating my position and this new focus to continue to empower young people with the resources to thrive online. And so part of my work is, not only do we do a great deal of research at Roblox, surveying our users and understanding how they approach the platform, but we want to go beyond that. What if we actually talk to them directly and empower them to advise us every day? And so what we've done is we've launched actually a teen council where we lean into their expertise every day. And this is in a variety of ways. One, we're looking at them to create resources for other young people. This is content for young people, by young people. We also lean into them for input into our product to make it resonate with our community as much as possible. And I think the other piece is to actually empower these young people with the knowledge to be champions of these topics. I don't think young people wake up every day as experts of civility, for example, right? And so being able to empower them with that knowledge is really important. You may ask, yes, why, right? And so I think part of it is that in any industry where we're working with young people, it's really important to engage them and see them as experts as well.
There was a dawning with these workshops where we were sitting in this room at Harvard Medical with all of these really smart people, right? People with many, many letters behind their names. And all of these experts in the room, and we had teens in the room with us. And everyone was talking, and everybody was so smart. And I turned and I look over at the 17-year-old woman, and she's just sitting there, and she's going like this. And I said, wait, what's going through your head? What's going on? And she said, it's not how we use it. And it shut the whole room up, all of these experts. And it was just a dawning that youth voice has to be included meaningfully in order to create a digital world that's going to work for them. We're obsolete, right? At the end of the day, we are trying to create content and platforms and technologies for young people. If they don't have a voice in how it's created, it's not going to be relevant for them.
Right. And I know today we have a lot of faces with us, and I'm sure some of them are looking around and wondering, if they want to start a civility initiative at their own organization, whether that's a smaller one or a larger enterprise, how do they go about doing it? And I'll throw it up to both of you. I don't know if you want to maybe take it from kind of the youth engagement standpoint and you from the civility, but kind of where could they start to begin those conversations?
So I'll just start from a corporate standpoint. First of all, you have to have buy-in, right? So I would not be here, our civility initiative would not live unless Dave Baszucki, who is some of you may know him as Builderman, he is founder and CEO of Roblox. If he didn't truly believe that civility was an important core part of our business. And he asked me, I was VP of Global Marketing for a number of years at Roblox. He asked me to switch over and focus on this area 100% about 3 years ago, because he knew how important it was. If we're not going to have a safe civil platform, people are going to leave. And those are real business metrics. So he understands that by supporting this area, it's good for the business. So I would say that's number one, is make sure the leadership of your organizations or your companies truly believe authentically that investing in media literacy, investing in online safety are paramount to the success of whatever you're working on. So I would say that that's probably one of the most important things.
Yeah, she covered it, I think.
Awesome. And so as part of my reporting, I actually got the chance to speak with Matt Kaufman, who's your Chief Safety Officer, and he described safety as being the default for Roblox. And that's because you guys have so many young users. I'm not sure if you guys know, but of the 85.3 million of active daily users that Roblox has, 40% of those are under the age of 13. And so I wanted to also ask you, how much of a responsibility do organizations have to enforce these protocols, especially when there are younger users, and how important is it to basically take into account that there might be younger people, even though Roblox is a company where that's kind of the starting point. There are other companies where they might be open to all ages and then looking more directly to young people. But how's it important that they start enforcing those things right off the bat?
So, Roblox has always been, so believe it or not, Roblox has been around for almost 20 years. It's been around for 19 years. And how we started out really was having kids, inspiring kids to create games and put it on our platform. So in the very beginning days, Dave, our CEO, he was a moderator. He was actually moderating these kids. So he really understood the importance of safety. So that has continued on for 19 years. It's still our #1 priority because we do have younger kids. We weren't a social media platform that started with 13 plus. We've always been a platform that embraced younger kids. And so with that, the safeguards and the rails that we have in place take that into account first and foremost. So we have something called safety by default. So we have parental controls, we invest in parental controls, we have a lot of different new features that we've put out for parents that provide them visibility into who their children are chatting with, screen time that they can set in 15-minute increments, the amount of spend that they are allowing their child to spend, and the content labels, so the content maturity type of content that their children are able to access. So, but beyond that, even if a parent didn't have the time, because I'm a parent and so busy, even if parents didn't have time to actually utilize those controls, we believe that it should be safe by default. So, we've done a series of things for under the age of 13. We've disabled chat on the platform for younger children. We've disabled one-to-one chat in a game for younger users. We still allow children to chat in a public game in public record, but we also have it all goes through moderation. It all goes through our filters, but that's part of the game mechanics, right? So if you're playing, capture the flag, you need to be able to coordinate with your teams. So that public chat is a very important part of the game strategy.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I would say that our moderation is so strong that one of the complaints from the community is how good it is at moderating.
And this year, Roblox teamed up with LA Hacks to introduce the first Roblox Civility Challenge. And this is at one of the biggest hackathons in the country. And so I want to kind of ask you guys what exactly the challenge was and how the students fared.
Yeah, so happy to jump into this one. So, essentially, this is a continuation of how we're engaging young people. We didn't want to just have them around a boardroom. We actually wanted to meet them at where they're at. And very often, this is hackathons. We really saw LA Hacks as not only for its scale, but for the level of talent that's present there. And so we sponsored our first ever Roblox Civility Challenge. And the idea is that we challenge over 1,000 kids to come up with experiences on Roblox that can educate others around civility, safety, and well-being. We had 11 teams competing, and in just 36 hours, we had 11 experiences to judge. And I just want to tell you that not only were we blown away by the experiences that came out, but the level of grit, the lack of sleep that we saw on the ground was really inspiring, actually. And so to the degree that initially we were looking to award 3 grand prize winners, we added a 4th prize winner just to acknowledge the level of talent that was there. So I want to tell you a little bit about the winners, if that's okay. So the experiences that won, I just want to tell you a little bit. So our 3rd place winner created a haunted mansion. But in this mansion, you're actually going through many lessons around AI cybersecurity and AI moderation and AI mini games to also teach you between what's fake and real. So it's a way of gamifying a very big topic for younger audiences. Our 2nd prize winners created an experience where it's actually a school where you are hanging out with friends and you're able to actually come in and help de-escalate conflicts. And so it teaches you how to do that. You get points by doing that in the game as well. So just really fun and creative ways of addressing some of these topics versus like the traditional like PDF or quiz or minigame. This is a little bit more world building. And then one of the things that I don't like to do is to talk about young people without actually having young people here. So I'm really excited to share that we have the winners of our challenge with us here today. We'd love to invite them to the stage so they can share a demo with all of you, show you the live demo. So, Team Bloom, come on stage, please. So, from California, here's Team Bloom. Could you guys introduce yourselves, please, a little bit?
Of course. Hi, everyone. We're Team Bloom AI. I'm Ramiel, and I'm here with Ethan, Eric, and Kat. Over 36 hours and 1 weekend at LA Hacks, we built something we believe can truly change the way people experience online games. It all began with a simple but powerful question. How can we make online gaming safer and more humane? Is it on right now? Oh. So on the screen right now is Bloom AI. It's a reflection of our vision helping players grow and bloom. As game developers, we've seen the toxic reality of online gaming, especially with younger audiences. It's discouraging to watch players get hurt just for wanting to play and connect. Current moderation is reactive, but not preventative. It temporarily removes harm, but doesn't change behavior. We decided to create a system that doesn't just block toxicity, but actively encourages and rewards positive behavior.
So this led us to build Bloom AI from the ground up. It's a sentiment-driven moderation and reward system that plugs directly into your Roblox experience. It's designed for developers, but its impact is for players. Our proof of concept is a garden-based Roblox game where players work together to grow a community garden. The way you communicate directly affects the world. Positive messages earns you points to plant seeds. And the more positivity you have, the faster the plants around you physically grows. Negative messages, however, lowers your score, and you receive an opportunity to unsend them, giving you a chance to reflect on the consequences before posting. Behind the scenes, our AI powers the system. It detects toxic behavior, profanity, and also personal information in real time. Not just by keywords, but by analyzing tone and intention in any language. There's no need for giant word lists. Our moderation system rewards positive interactions, supports mental well-being, and helps create a safer, more respectful gaming environment.
And what makes Bloom AI really powerful is that it's not just a single-use tool. We built a full, out-of-the-box dashboard that developers can add to their experiences with customizable moderation settings, message visibility, and real-time sentiment tracking. So whether your game is for families or for older users, you can tweak how strict the moderation is. And on the player side, we don't just reinforce, or we don't just punish, we reinforce. The game loop is designed to make positive social behavior a major part of the gameplay. Players collaborate, they talk, they support each other, and the entire server benefits. Bonuses for good behavior become community-wide boosts. Because the truth is, human moderators can't keep up. The problem with traditional moderation systems is that harmful messages often slip through. And once they do, the damage has already been done. But with Bloom AI, acting instantly and intelligently, we can prevent those moments before they ever reach another player. When I was 9, playing video games, I remember getting called things that I didn't understand, but I knew it felt bad. Bloom AI is for that version of me and every kid who deserves to feel safe and valued online.
So finally, what makes Bloom AI stand out is that it goes beyond moderation. It's all about community building. Our AI approach handles large volumes of messages, filters out toxicity, and prompts user warnings while still allowing developers full control. Our system also iteratively learns over time, improving accuracy and also reducing bias. And most importantly, Bloom AI gamifies empathy. So helping others and encouraging positive behavior earns points and rewards. So this in turn creates a positive feedback loop where players are motivated to be kind, not simply to avoid penalties, but because it benefits the entire community. And right now, we're focused on Roblox, where it's one of the biggest platforms for online gamers and also young creators. What's this? We want to value creativity, safety, and community. And right now, we're planning to expand Bloom AI to platforms that want to prioritize mental health and to create online spaces. Because moderation shouldn't just be about stopping harm. It should be about growing good. Thank you.
So, as you can see, they did a much better job than I would explaining.
That was fantastic. I also wanted to throw it to you guys. What was the biggest challenge in creating this game, aside from the time constraint? Because I know you only had 36 hours.
Definitely, so the challenge was more focused based off of Roblox. Our biggest challenge of the challenge was kind of taking it out of Roblox while also making it a fun Roblox experience. So we wanted to create some type of robust system, that includes AI, and our topic was focused on moderation, and taking that moderation portion outside of Roblox and connecting it directly into the experience while still making a fun experience for players to sit and enjoy was definitely, I think, the most challenging part.
And I know everyone here knows, but sometimes the gaming community gets a bad rap for being a little bit toxic. What does it mean to you guys to have a company as big as Roblox really focus on civility and kind of empower you guys as young people to be involved in that process?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you had any comments on what it means to you guys to see such a big company like Roblox kind of encourage and empower young people to be involved in the civility process and want to, partake and do their part in adding that to the gaming community.
Yeah, definitely. So I've been on the platform on Roblox since 2012. So I've seen the platform grow, and to see how important it is to create a safe environment, because there are so many kids playing Roblox, and it's very important that they can feel safe while enjoying an online experience. It really means a lot, and it's honestly been it's been our main mission to kind of contribute to that, which is really why we were inspired to build Bloom AI.
That's awesome. And they had, at LA Hacks, there were a lot of different streams. They chose us. So we really, really appreciative of that.
Yeah, there were over 50 challenges
Yeah.
at the hackathon, so it goes a long way that they chose our
That's awesome. Well, congratulations, and thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys want to take questions from the audience?
Just maybe one of the, maybe if you guys have any questions, we're happy
Yeah, I was going to see if anyone wanted to, either for the students or, sure, we'll go there.
Sure, yeah. Thank you guys for joining us this week. At this conference, we've heard so much about empowering youth, and I think that's really resonated with everybody. I'm curious from you or the panelists, when you talk to Roblox, what sort of policy communication or pop-ups have helped change culture and civility, and what do you think the future of that is?
Is that question to anybody or? Okay. Okay. So, one of the things that, we're continuing to innovate on all of the things that will help to push people, to push them into positive behavior. One of the things that we do know is that there's a lot of room for innovation when it comes to moderation, because typically moderation has just typically been slap on the hand, ban, ban, ban. But we also know that there's an opportunity out there to really change behaviors in a really creative way. So we're constantly testing out different nudge theories, really, really working on potentially using AI to identify potential harms or anything that is negative, and then providing that nudge stream to be able to educate. So again, our focus is really learning, research that we're working on with academics who are really helping to provide a direction for that.
Yeah.
For the team, congratulations on your great achievement. I was curious, what kind of AI did you use in building your AI? And if you have any challenges using AI for content moderation?
So for the AI, we actually use 2 agents. So one agent handles the sentiment analysis part, and the other agent handles the moderation. And we actually used open source models from this site called Hugging Face, and it was trained on a diverse set of messages. So not just solely English texts, but this data set encapsulates multiple languages. Because for content moderation, you're going to encounter a diverse set of messages. You want to include or incorporate those type of use cases. So yeah.
I'll take one more. Let's go back there.
My question's about impact. So is Roblox promoting either that specific server, or is the Bloom AI built into many other servers already? In other words, they built it, that's awesome, but is it number 5,000 out of your 50,000 servers? I'm just trying to understand, is Roblox promoting it in some way? And if you are you going to measure the impact in some way?
I'm happy to jump in on this one a little bit, just to share that I should have shared some context that the hackathon took place in April, so this was just 2 months ago, and these were prototypes. And so what you're seeing today is actually a further built out of these experiences that were from the hackathon. All of our winners have a timeline goal of publishing these games in the fall, so you'll be able to play them yourselves. And then when it comes to promoting the winners, we've been very active on our social media accounts actually promoting Team Bloom as well as the other 3 winners. What's interesting is that, and maybe for those of you that aren't familiar with Roblox, is that not only do we do our own moderation, but developers themselves can also integrate these safety features into their own games. And so what you're seeing here today is an additive measure to create additional safety guards into the games itself. And so I think that's what's so exciting about the work that they've done today, is that you're seeing not just a game, but an additional dashboard on the back end that devs on Roblox can use as a test case. Team Bloom, anything that you want to add?
Thank you.
I just wanted to congratulate you guys again. If we could give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thanks, everyone.